Hi, and welcome to the BizSec Podcast. I'm Beau Woods.
And I'm Dave Kennedy.
Each episode, we're going to be talking about information, technology, security issues, things that happen in the world of security for technology and information that matter to business people, not just technology people. Since this is our first podcast, we thought we'd give you a little bit of insight on what we're going to be covering, the kinds of things that we'll be talking about, the audience that we want to try and attract, so that you can know whether you want to keep listening or not, and so you can tell your friends, maybe if this podcast isn't for you. So what this podcast is about is really the topics that are around information or technology security. And those are two different things. Information is typically the thing that businesses and managers want to get. They want accurate, timely information about the topics that they need when they need them, and to make sure that that information is protected so no one else can get access to it. And technology security is what we typically think of as like cybersecurity, keeping safe from hackers. And all of this from the context of a business, from somebody who's got to run a business, who maybe is not technical, somebody who's a CFO, a COO, a COO. That's kind of who we aspire to talk to. That's the kind of content that we aspire to have. And these are conversations that you're not really going to hear anywhere else in the podcasting world, and maybe not even in some of your private conversations, except at some high levels, or maybe from Gartner analysts or some of the other think tanks or analyst firms like that. We think you should listen if you want to know what the C-level people are going to care about in your organization. Maybe you are a C-level person, or maybe you just aspire to either be one of them, to report to one of them, or to talk to one of them in an informed basis, and to be able to speak with those folks on the level that they need to hear things in order to really understand those. So a good question is always, why are you the type of person that I would listen to? And both Dave and I have been around for a while, and we've been in the industry for several years. We've worked with executives a lot. We've worked with C-level people a lot, and we know what's really important to them and how to speak to them, at least to some degree, to the degree that we can. And we're always learning. So if you've got any tips or pointers, or you want to call us out on something, feel free to do it. As far as my background, I came from kind of an outside perspective. I have a psychology degree from a technical university, but I've always kind of been a technology junkie. So I've kind of followed that technology drive with my psychology background and got into information security eventually, just because it was the hard, fun problems to try and solve. And that served me well. That background has allowed me to deal on a personal level with people about security issues. And that's helped me to give up some of the technical desire that I have. I say I'm a recovering technologist, which means I used to be a technology junkie, and now I've kind of moved out of that, moved more towards the management and the business and the strategy angles for information security. So that gives it a little bit different flavor of perspective from what you might find from somebody else. And Dave, what's your background?
Dave Kennedy. I was the Chief Security Officer for Diebold Incorporated, so Fortune 1000 company. I was there for a number of years, and I'm also the CEO of Trusted Sec, an information security consulting company. And for me, I think I'll balance Beau a little bit out, because I'm on the technology side, but have a lot of experience on the other side as well. So I'm kind of a strange hybrid in both regards to being able to communicate effectively, explain things in a very concise manner, but really understand what's happening, under the scenes, and really understanding what's happening from the technology side. I mean, for me, I love the business side. I love hanging out and communicating and talking and working with organizations and building, security programs. At the same time, my hobbies, outside of that, are really breaking things and hacking into things, and the technology side as well. So, it's a nice marry between the two, and hopefully, we get some nice discussions out of it.
Yeah, I think we will, and hopefully everybody on the podcast gets something out of it. So, going from who we are and why you should listen to us, why should you believe us? Well, the simple truth is you shouldn't. I love a guy named Bruce Potter. He always says that in every one of his talks. You shouldn't believe a thing I say. Look, we can point you in certain directions. We can have certain theories and ideas, but it's really up to you to figure out if that's right, if that's for you, and how that can apply to your organization, to the conversations that you're having, to your particular situation. And honestly, if we're way off, go ahead and tell us. We don't have a monopoly on being right, and sometimes we are wrong. Even the two of us that are big heads that you see in the video in front of you, we can be wrong sometimes. We're often wrong, and it's being wrong that helps you learn what is really important and how to fix the being wrong so you can be right. So I think Dave and I probably, I know I'm wrong on average a time or two a week when I have, say something that's just not quite right, and then somebody has to come and correct me, and I look it up, and sure enough, that just makes what I'm saying stronger the next time around.
All the time.
Yeah. We plan to get an episode out every couple of weeks or so. Depending on our schedules. Dave's a busy guy, I'm a busy guy, but maybe we can bring on some guest hosts, maybe do some special episodes, interviews, bring something else to the table other than just us two talking every couple of weeks. We really hope to be able to get something out consistently with high quality so that people tune in. And you can get the podcast initially on YouTube. Everything will be posted there. We're going to start putting things on iTunes and to a individual website soon. We're going to start getting some content, getting some designs up, and getting stuff going to make this more of a regular, consistent thing. As for right now, though, like I said, YouTube is the best place to get us, as well as you can find us on Twitter. I'm at Beau Woods, BeauWoods, and Dave is at Dave_Relic, DAVE_REL1K. Right, Dave?
That's right. That's
Cool.
Good.
All right. Well, that's it for this